Hello, I'm going to show you how to create a template to use as a pattern for your puzzle piece artwork. So I'm going to give you a piece of paper, and this is going to be cut to the size of your excuse me, watercolor paper that you will be using. So what you're going to do with this paper is you're going to fold it in half. Make sure that your lines do line up, the edges do line up completely. You want them to be completely straight. Okay, then you're going to unfold it. Then you're going to fold it again this way, making sure that the corners and the edges line up completely. After you unfold this, you are going to take your paper and you're going to lay it on the edge of your watercolor paper. Make sure that it all lines up. And hopefully I cut it straight enough so it does. Okay, then you're going to take your pencil and just draw a line there, straight up and down. Be very careful that your line is straight. Then you're going to fold it again horizontally. Lay it at the top of your paper so that everything lines up. The edges are completely lined up. Okay. And then you're going to trace again. And you want to do this lightly, excuse me, so that you can erase your lines, okay? After you have done this, then what you're going to do is you will get another little template, which is like this. Now, this is going to be the ends of your puzzle. You're going to take your template and fold it in half so that it is completely straight. Completely even. On both sides, it should be completely even. Okay, do not cut it or anything, just leave it that way. Then you're going to leave it folded and you're going to place it on the line and making sure that the end is all the way up to the end of your paper. So you want it on the line. You see this line right here? You want to have the folded part laying on the line, just like that. Go ahead and trace with it folded. Now you want to hold this so that it doesn't move. You want to put your finger inside and then hold it again so that it doesn't move, and then carefully unfold it. And you can just leave it like that. So you want to have it unfolded, but it should stay right on where you had it, okay? And then go ahead and trace that other side. Very carefully. Okay, just like that. Okay, so you should have that like that. Okay, you want to do this with each of the edges. So you're going to take it, fold it, lay it on this line up here, making sure that it goes all the way to the edge, making sure that it doesn't go over the line very carefully, and then trace. If you have a hard time tracing, what I suggest is that you keep your pencil straight up. Do not tip your pencil. Keep your pencil straight up and put it against the edge, and it's like you're just running it on the edge. You want to touch the edge as you trace it because it needs to be exactly as the paper is. Hold it, put your finger inside like this and hold it, and open it up and hold it. Do not let it move, and then trace it again. Remember keeping your pencil straight up. Now, when you get to this side, you want to duplicate this so that it's facing this way. Okay, so this pattern, this is facing this way. This one should face this way as well. And this one should face this way as well. Okay, so lay it on the line and hold it, making sure that it's straight on the line, and then trace it. Keeping your pencil straight up, remember. Stop, hold it so it doesn't move, put your finger inside, open it up, and then trace the rest. Now, if it doesn't go all the way to the end, that's okay. You can just make sure that you keep it straight on there. Okay, just like that. And then do the same thing down here. Put it on the edge, trace it. Oops, mine came off the edge. Gotta be careful. Keep it on the edge. Erase this and try it and do it again. Happy mistakes. Okay, let me move it up so you can see what I'm doing here. It's kind of hard, but on the edge of that line, and then trace. Hold it while you go inside so it doesn't move. Open it up and then trace it again. So that line should be straight. Okay, and then all you would do is you would cut this. Now right here, you're going to need to have a line that will go like this and then like this. So, okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and darken these up, tracing over it very carefully, just so you can see what I'm doing here. You want to be very careful to stay on the lines. Don't go over or under the lines. You want to be on the lines because this is where you're going to cut out. And they need to be pretty even in order to line up with the other students' artworks. Okay, so and I'm going to go ahead and speed this up so you're not just watching me trace my lines, okay? So now the last thing we need to do is to make the edges of our puzzle. And this is where we will also be cutting out. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your original template, fold it in half, and making sure that your fold is on the line, you want to go to the bottom edge of this one, the top one. So put it up to the bottom edge, making sure that this edge over here is right up against the edge of the bottom paper. Okay, and then you just draw your line very carefully. Draw a line, and you can take it all the way across if you want. Just take it all the way across. Pick up your paper, and now you'll do the same thing with this one. Put your paper up against the edge of your watercolor paper, and then put it on this line. So you're going to put it up on this line right here, and you're going to make sure that it's lined up with this edge here. So put it up against that edge, and right there, making sure that it's completely straight up against it. And it's best if you stand up while you do this so that you can see that it's lined up completely. Okay, and right up against this line. So it should be straight with this and straight with this. And then go ahead and make your line all the way down. So this is where you will be cutting. You will cut this. So you'll cut this right here. I'm going to darken it up a little bit. Then you're going to cut up here. So you will be cutting here. You'll be cutting here. And then when you get to here, you will just cut this part off and then cut down here. So this is where you will cut right here, right here. Let me erase that. And then you'll start cutting here. So don't cut on that side, you want to cut on the outside. So this is where you will be cutting. Okay. See the arrows? So you'll cut here, 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 and then you'll go up and around this part, back down, and then you'll cut here. But then when you get to this line, right here, you'll start cutting down. And then do the same thing, go around this one. And then you go back down. So that's where you will be cutting. You'll be cutting along this line, go up and around. Then right here, you'll go up and around, and then here. Then when you get over here, you're going to start cutting this. And then you will do the same thing here. Okay, this is where you will be cutting. Okay, after you get that cut, you have your template. You can erase these lines in here. Erase all these lines, and these should all these lines should be done very lightly so that you can erase them. Always do, when you're making lines, make sure they're light. Well, that's not, doesn't matter, that's going to be cut off anyway. And then you have this template right here that you'll be using for your puzzle piece. Okay? All right. Hope that helps. Once you have your puzzle piece cut out, which I'm just using a piece of paper here, but yours should be on your watercolor paper. Once you have it cut out, you can start deciding how you want to arrange your artwork. So remember, you want to find a place where you're going to put your saying. Either you can paint your picture first and then paint, write your quote down with a pencil and then paint over it with white, or whatever, however you want to do it. You can use the examples that I showed in order to do this, but just use your imagination and your skills and go ahead and create your artwork. Okay, remember, if you're doing this, make sure you do it with a pencil and do it lightly, so whenever you make mistakes, you can just erase it. Okay, all right. Okay, so here's an example of something that I did, and this is just a rough copy. Okay, so I drew an eye, and then I drew a person standing there, and then ribbons. I love to draw ribbons. So you draw what you want to draw and what you like to draw. And then my quote says, "The eyes are the window to your soul," which is a quote that was written by William Shakespeare. and then I will just color it in. Okay.